Australia, you can. If you want, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's open. Like, there's nothing out there that stops you. If that's what you want to. If you don't, then that's cool. You know what I mean? But if you, like, let me go visit Brazil real quick. Let me go to Trinidad real quick. Like, the world is open. What's that? To where, Brazil?
Yeah, they don't know Jeffrey Dahmer type time.
Well, no, it's funny you say that though, because there's this kid at the high school that I work with back at home in Toronto, and he just got hired by the Brazil's team, basketball team. He plays ball. He just got hired by the team, so he just went out there within the last month and a half, right? He's training with them now.
Oh, so he plays for India.
Not, I don't know what league it is.
It's overseas.
It's overseas, yeah.
No, overseas, like, you know, like NBA, G League, and it's like Australia.
So yeah, Brazil has their own league. Australia has their own league.
National.
No, not the national team. No, Brazil has their own league, so that might have like, I don't know, 10, 12 teams, right? So yeah, he just picked up a contract, right? Brazil teams to play ball, get better at his skill. And he got picked up. You know what I'm saying? So anything's possible. So he's out in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Anything's possible is what I'm saying, man. You know what I mean? I want y'all to be able to see past just the block that you live on. You know what I mean? See beyond the block. It's not just about where you live. It's not about just the D. It's like those things are cool, right? And I love where I'm from, but understand this world here is created for all of us to do whatever we want to do. You know what I mean? So if you stay focused on what we want to do, trust me, you will get there. You will get there. Wherever you want to travel to, wherever you want to go, give that skill that you have within you, the music skill, whatever it is, you can use that to see the world. You really can. You really can. So stay focused on that, man. I promise you it's going to take you places. You know, maybe if when you start with music and it kind of stems up, right? Like whatever it is, man, just keep at it, keep pushing at it. Something great's going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, man, really glad to meet y'all, man. Happy to meet y'all. So we got the same weather, man, in Detroit and Toronto, same thing. There was a big storm, and I know it was on the other side, it was in Buffalo. But yeah, lots of snow, all that is. Yeah, we get the same thing in Toronto.
Yeah, I was coming back and I'm like, my mom lets me fly to for Christmas because down here they don't really got snow.
Right.
I used to have the snow.
Yeah. Have you all got a chance to see snow? Yeah, okay. Yeah. What's that? Somewhat, okay. Got you. Yeah, I prefer no snow if I could have a choice, personally. Oh, you can knock on neighbors' doors and kind of show them the driveway? Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah, you can make a lot of money that way, man. There's busy people, there's older people who start eating more. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Very good idea.
Okay.
Good, man. So you guys good, though?
Okay.
Good.
One time.
Okay, man, yeah.
Any questions y'all want to ask of him?
But it's a,
I don't know Drake.
Earlier.
Oh, for real? I'm from the 6, yeah, but yeah, no, I don't Drake, yeah. I've seen Drake a couple times, yeah.
Popular, like,
It's Toronto.
Okay. You know what's funny though? You know what's funny because there's this perception that he like owns a city, right? Like sometimes like this perception, and like people seem like, yo, what's up, man? But it's not like, you know what I mean? People aren't going crazy for it, right? So,
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, so he's from an area I think 2 or 3 hours north of Toronto, is where he's originally from. So I don't think he really walks around Toronto. Yeah, we don't own Justin Bieber like that. Like we'll take Drake, like yeah, Drake's like cool. Justin Bieber, like he's alright.
Is the Raptors like stadium or whatever court, whatever?
Yeah.
Is it like in Toronto or like?
It is, yeah. It's downtown Toronto. Yeah, I used to work for the team years ago. I used to travel with the team. Going back before, when y'all, do you remember Vince Carter?
Oh yeah. But you met Vince?
Yeah, I used to work with Vince. Yeah, back in the day, I used to travel with the team and do some work with Vince. Back in the day, I used to do some bodyguard work, pushing guys around and stuff for some of these players.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dunked on me? No, he's never dunked on me. He's never dunked on me. And not to say that
Dunked on or dunked over?
not to say he couldn't, but yeah, I don't necessarily. Back in the day, I played a little ball, but when these guys are playing, I let them do their thing, right? Like that's the profession. So,
That's what I'm trying to do.
yeah. So back in those days when Vince Carter was on the team, I used to do some rap. But, yeah.
Tracy.
Tracy McGrady. Yeah, I used to do. Actually, Tracy McGrady was the first person I did work with. Yeah, he was when he came to town. He was an assistant, so I kind of helped to guide him a little bit. Even Steph Curry, man. So Del Curry, Steph Curry's father, used to play for the Raptors, and so Steph was like a little. So back, yeah, he was a young kid back then. So. He took him to a couple of his games. A couple times I had to babysit for them as well. For Seth, his brother and sister. And so, yeah, to see him now is like phenomenal. Right, just doing what he does. This is fabulous.
Man, with this type of haircut,
But yeah, man, it was cool. But yeah, the stadium's right downtown, and every once in a while I'll go to a game now. Check it out.
Like he like knows you, like
Who's that?
Curry.
Yeah, like I don't like. So the last time I saw him was before he blew up. Like he was in the NBA, but before he was like the stuff he is now.
Like 2K14 stuff.
Like your Davidson days?
No, in the NBA. Oh. In the NBA, but I would say he was probably in his second or third year. Was the last time I saw him. I went down to a game when Golden State was playing, and yeah, we talked. He remembered me, but I haven't seen him since he's his star's blown up now.
You still think he remembers you?
If he sees me 100%, yeah. If you say, yo, you know Jeff, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But if he sees me 100%, he'll know me. For sure. So, yeah. It was some cool times back then. But yeah, man, Toronto's a cool city, man. If I don't know how much traveling you guys get a chance to do, but, if you ever make it out that way, man, let me know. Take you around, show you what's going on in the city. A lot of great places, a lot of great people as well.
I actually have a friend that's in Toronto.
Oh yeah? Okay, cool. Do you know where in Toronto?
I think it's 30 minutes away from Toronto. Like downtown.
Okay, cool. Okay, nice. Yeah. Yeah, we got a great community out there, man. Great community. Yeah, lots of good people out there.
You want
Lots to do as well.
to tell them like the top 3 things that they should consider as they move to that next level?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, so
Yeah.
As we spoke about as well already, just trying to be intentional with everything we do.
I don't know. About to all might be close. We're ready to get
Yeah, I would
started.
say as well,
Someone's waiting on you all
be
to
willing
get
to
here.
do things that other people are not willing to do. You know what I mean? Be willing to go further than other people, right? And the things you want to do. And so I use the example of my man,
Okay.
Kobe Bryant. I mean, one of my favorite players ever. Absolutely.
Okay.
He's the guy. That man was just incredible in terms of his work ethic. You know what I mean? Like the Black Mamba. That's why they called him that. You know what I'm saying? So he would talk about, most players would get up in the morning and they practice, right? And then they go have lunch and they practice after lunch. So they practice twice. But he's like, if I got up a little bit earlier and I practiced once before everybody else, and I practice in the morning with the team, then after lunch I practice again, they have 2 practices and I have 3 practices, right? If I do that 7 days a week, I have 7 more practices than anybody else. And by the time they realize, yo, Kobe's getting good, like, what's he doing? Oh, he's practicing? Okay, I gotta do the same thing. By the time they realize that, they can never catch up because he's been practicing 1 more time every single day. Right, and that's what made him as good as he was, because he's willing to put in the work and the time.
He was actually trained by Michael Jordan.
He was trained by Michael Jordan? Well, his trainer,
Phil Jackson.
not Phil.
Everyone like picking people up for you.
Man, I don't remember his name right now. It was a trainer that was training Jordan and Kobe, and then he's done Dwayne Wade. He's done a few other players. I don't remember his name right now, but he was from Chicago. Short Italian dude. He was playing in the NCAA. He was trying to make the NBA. He didn't, and then he became a therapist. Like through therapy, started working with Jordan and some of these guys and Kobe, and really helped them in their career. Right. But again, it's like Kobe was willing to put in extra practice more than anybody else. And so that's what set him apart. You know what I'm saying? Like your children, y'all are kids. I imagine. But your children will be speaking about Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all heard of like Will Chamberlain, right? One of the greatest ever. Have you seen him play?
Yeah, most definitely.
Like videos, but have you seen him play live?
No.
No, I've never seen him play live. He's been dead, right? But we talk about him because of how great he was. Your children will be talking about Kobe because of how great he was. They've never seen him play. Y'all have probably never seen Jordan play live based on their age, right? But you talk about Jordan. Your kids will talk about Jordan.
Okay.
We've seen videos, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. Like, your children will be talking about Kobe of how because of how great he was, because he's willing to put in extra work. So what I'm saying to you guys as well, be willing to put in extra work. When everybody else is partying, you're
I know.
working on your
I do
craft.
too. I live
When
in
everybody else
Texas.
is bumming, chilling, sleeping, you're working on your craft. That's what gets you to where you want to be.
But I do
Right?
want
Be
to.
willing
We're
to
gonna
put
be
extra time. Right? My girl Beyonce, every time she does a concert, right at the end of the concert, everybody goes home, they had a good time, and she sits there and she watches the video of the concert, and she watches it. If there's any note that's off or any dance move that's off, she wakes everybody up, all her dancers, 2, 3 in the morning. She's up, we're gonna practice right now. That motivation, because she's serious about her craft. She's serious about her craft. How many singers you know that are like, I sing and then they go to sleep, or they sing and they just they bum, they go to parties. Beyonce's like, I want to be the best. So we're gonna practice. We're gonna do these things when everybody else is bumming, right? Tiger Woods, same thing. Like every day he hits 1,000 balls, right? That's why Tiger Woods is one of the best, because every day he's willing to work.
Kind of like how.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. Like putting in that work, putting in that work, whatever it is you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And even again, if you don't know what you want to do right now, it's cool, right? But maybe that means, okay, let me put a little bit extra work in my school because I don't know what I want to do, but when I put work in my school, it's going to keep some doors open. You know what I'm saying? And you put a little bit of work into speaking to people, meeting people, mentors, things of that nature. I don't know what I want to do, but it might still help me in the future. In these doors open. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, man. Putting in that extra work. Right? Doesn't mean you can't sleep, doesn't mean you can't have fun, doesn't mean you can't watch Netflix. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we need to put away those video games. Sometimes we need to put away that TikTok. Sometimes we need to, right, and just do a little bit of extra work, right? Go on YouTube, not watching cat videos or, people fighting, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? Sometimes we do that, you know what I'm saying? But going on and watching videos that are going to help us, right?
Question.
Yeah.
Watching videos about how to make beats, is that
Let me ask you that. I'll turn that on you. What do you think?
I feel like it's it's actually helping me to make a lot of beats because recently I've been struggling to make like some type of drill type song or something.
Okay. 1,000%. When you surround yourself with like-minded people, including watching videos, it's going to keep you in that mind space, right? Like one of the things I always say is if you want to be a millionaire, you got to hang out with millionaires, right? Because the conversation is different. You know what I'm saying? If you hang around a bunch of cats and they're not doing nothing with their life, right? What are you going to end up doing? Nothing with your life. You know what I'm saying? If you stand with a bunch of cats and they're leaders, but you with a bunch of cats who are making money, they're a bunch of guys who are making beats, a bunch of guys who are basketball players, you automatically become better at basketball or better at making beats because you're in that mind frame.
That was our first,
right? You're in that mind frame. That's what it's about. So put yourself in that mind frame, including watching videos, right? Even if the person making the videos isn't as good as you, you're still in that mind frame. So absolutely, watching videos, man. Watching videos, whatever it is, put yourself in that space. It's going to elevate you to where you want to. It's going to set you apart.
I think I want to.
It's going to make you different. And again, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, taking a little bit of extra time to do a little bit more work in whatever space it is you want to do it in. And you do that every day. Every day, you become that much better than the guy next to you, the guy behind you. You become that much better. Right? Because you put in 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes extra every day is going to add up. Over a year, you've done
And that's what I
extra
wanted
work.
to do.
The next guy who
So
says,
when I did it,
I'm the baller. I'm gonna do it, and he goes to sleep when everyone else goes to sleep. But you dribble another 10 minutes a day. What's that gonna give you? Extra time, right? It adds up. It's gonna be hours. Eventually, it's going to be days that you practice more than the next guy, right? So he claims he's good, but when you put in work, it's gonna excel you.
What's going on?
Right, so I want to encourage you guys, man.
Her
Whatever it
mom
is you
somehow
want to
got
do,
my phone
be
number,
willing to
so
do things
calling
other
me
people are not willing
and
to do.
just starts going on.
Be willing to go to put in a little bit of extra time on your part to make you miss that 2 or 3 hours or sometimes doing TikTok or Instagram. You scroll all day. You know what I'm saying? You don't use it? You're on it?
I don't got it.
You don't got it? You use it? Yeah. Yeah. You know how it is, man. You look at the time, you're like, whoo, I've been on this thing for 45 minutes, right?
And
Just
it's not that
scrolling,
serious.
just scrolling.
It's not
TV, whatever, even if it's sports. Like I love me some sports, but I have some friends as well who will watch every single basketball game. Doesn't matter who is playing, no matter what, like every single basketball game. So I'm like, listen, if you're trying to become a commentary, then no problem, right? But if you're doing it just because you're bumming, right, now it's taking a lot of your time. Right, so again, you're willing to do things that other people don't.
But what
Put
I
it
gave for
just
that.
5 minutes, read.
But I gave for that because
It's going to change your life. I guarantee you. It will change your
I volunteered.
life. Yeah, so I would recommend that. That's one of the things I would.
Hey, Jeff, has there been anything that you set out to do in order to make you better at being a speaker or in your profession that didn't quite go right? And when you recognized that it wasn't going right, what did you do in order to overcome that?
Yeah. So sorry, you have a question?
Oh, I've seen it down in the Super Bowl. It looked like one.
Y'all don't know me, man? Y'all don't recognize me?
Dion's in.
Huh?
That's Super Bowl 1982.
Wait, hold on. Let me think.
It's graduation ring. Sorry, man.
Chicago Bears, 1982.
I know people always confuse me for Ray Lewis. I know. People always mistake me for Ray Lewis. I know.
Hilarious. Yeah, to answer your question,
Overcoming obstacles.
yeah, have you ever faced a problem in your life at some point in time? Absolutely, we all have. And sometimes these problems are harder than most people ever believe. And sometimes these problems are things that, man, like we don't even wish on our worst enemy how difficult the problems can be that we face in life. But I think it's very important for us to recognize that, number one, we're always going to face obstacles. Right? We don't know what's going to happen when we walk out, car accident, right? Someone's driving on the sidewalk, we don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's very important for us to recognize that when we go through life, there's always going to be ups and downs. Right? We can complain about not having any money or this or that. But at the same time, we can also recognize that I woke up this morning, right? There was a shooting in, where was it?
In Virginia. Yeah.
Last night?
Last night. And just like a few days ago was Colorado.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, these things continue to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things unfortunately continue to happen. So, with that, I woke up this morning, he's having an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To do something amazing, do something great, to impact somebody, just to say good morning to somebody, say, hey, how you doing? I haven't checked out you in a while, how you doing? Right? We have the opportunity to do that. So I think that when we go through life and we face obstacles, it's recognizing that even in the difficult obstacles, there's things that we can pull from that. Right? There's things that we can pull from that that we can use to make our lives better. Right? I mean, the most difficult times, right? Like, for example, years ago, I had a cousin who passed away from cancer. Right? And, of course, it was tough, difficult to have to deal with that. But one of the great things was is that during that time, I got a chance to spend a lot of time with her while she was in the hospital. Visit her every day, talk to her, see how she's doing, sit, talk, crack jokes, have a good time. Sometimes we just sit in silence. But when it's all said and done, as much as I hate losing my cousin, the good thing was that we got to spend a lot of time together. And she knew exactly how I felt. She knew how much I loved her. Right? So no matter how tough things can sometimes be, it's very important for us to recognize that even in difficult times, we can pull the negativity out of that. We can pull the lessons out of negativity and use that to make our life better. We all know who Oprah is, right? And you hear about Oprah and all the money she's hired so many people. She sends, she has a school in Africa where she sends girls to college, university, right? And we see that, we always see the success. But when you look back at Oprah's story and you hear the things that she's been through, right? The fact that she was in poverty, like real deep poverty, the fact that she was raped by family members, right? You see these things and you're like, man, but what we see now is her success, right? But because she was able to find those difficulties and pull lessons from them and say, okay, these are the things that I need to do in my life to make my life better, she was able to use that to excel herself forward, right? Like she's first on TV and people are like, yo, you can't be on TV, like you're not good looking enough, you're too dark, you're too chubby. And that's what we're telling her about being on TV. And now she's been on TV for so many years and she has her own channel, right? So there's always going to be people that are going to tell you that you're not good enough. And sometimes we tell ourselves that we're not good enough. Sometimes we allow that inner voice to tell us that we're not good enough, right? But regardless of what it is we go through in life, understand that there's always lessons. There's always lessons in every difficult situation that we can use to change ourselves and move our life forward. Always lessons, no matter how difficult the situation is. I talked about my cousin died from cancer, and another cousin that was murdered years ago. And again, very difficult to deal with. Shot and killed, very difficult to deal with. But I was able to use those lessons in those situations to help to push me forward and to help to make change in my own life and change in the life of other people. Right? So again, life is always going to have its ups, life is always going to have its downs. But when it's all said and done, what is it you learned from every lesson? Right? Like COVID, we all went through COVID. I know it seemed, from the outside, it seemed like Atlanta never shut down. That's what it looked like. I don't know.
It's
about 2 months.
Yeah.
Maybe a month.
Yeah.
NBA All-Star, the parties, right? The world was, I don't know how it was out here, but, you know, I don't know how it was for you guys. Like, was COVID hard to deal with? Not you all right? Yeah? Good. That's good to hear. Because, yeah, for some people, again, like, back at home, the kids were in school or out of school for a good year and a half, right? No friends, isolated in your house, right? So it was tough for a lot of people. And again, even if it's not COVID for you guys, it might be other things you're dealing with. But my point being is that regardless of what it is you're dealing with, man, like, understand that there's always going to be something you can take from that difficult situation, right? Make your life better, make someone else's life better, and continue to go forward. So again, man, I just want to encourage you guys, man, just to continue to go forward, continue pushing, and like I said, man, be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. Be willing to put in a little bit more work. Be willing to put away that phone. Be willing to turn off that TV,
Tell y'all that all the
TV
time.
show. Put away, stop watching the TV show. And I'm not saying you don't have to watch it forever. I'm just saying maybe you put in a little bit extra work, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in whatever crap you want to do. You know what I mean? Put another line on that beat. Whatever it is that you got to do before you go to bed, before when you wake up in the morning, whatever it is. But think to yourself, the person who's making that, for you example, the person who's making that beat right now that's about to blow up, what are they doing right now? They're probably putting on that, probably putting on that snare right now, probably putting on that bass, probably putting on that, you know what I mean? Let me go do that as well, right? Putting that extra work, that Kobe, that Black Mamba mentality, right? One extra practice a day has made him who he is. Just one extra practice a day. We're not asking for 45 a day. We're asking for one extra a day. And that put him to where he is today. So again, man, keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. I believe in you guys. I hope that you believe in yourself as well. Because again, the world is open, man. You can't go to Brazil.
So you can't go to Brazil?
Yeah, I was telling them that they could travel wherever they want to go. They could go to Brazil, they could go to Australia. He's like, Brazil? Why you want to go to Brazil?
I want to go to Brazil.
The world is open to you, man. It's not just about the block that you live on. It's about the world. It's open to you. It really is. Just use the gifts that you have, man, and let it guide you. Let it take you to where you want to go.
Awfully quiet.
No, but they're processing.
Okay.
They're processing information.
Yeah, I had a couple questions earlier as well.
Yeah, they're processing. Sometimes they don't respond immediately,
Yeah.
but they're thinking about it, you know.
Yeah.
So what y'all think about Santuan spelled?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even notice it until you said something about it.
Can you not notice
That's
it?
nice, man.
Liking that. You came to the right place.
Try to
man.
hide. I was like, nah. I was like, nah. You came out the house. We're proud.
It's a nice goat. I like it.
Yeah. So even something like that, like you can make something like that. You know what I'm saying? And sell that, right? You didn't make that. You did make that?
Oh no, I didn't. Make
Okay.
it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it's very, yeah. Something like that could be made, man, and sell it. And start creating that business, that entrepreneurial business.
That's right. That artistic mindset, you'll be surprised there's a market for stuff like that.
Yeah. What I say to my kids, man, I always say ABC, always be creating. Always
Yep.
be creative. Like when you think about everybody in the world who's been quote unquote successful, it's through creativity, right? From the music you listen to, from the TV shows you watch, like it's all someone's mindset's creativity, right? From the Beyoncés to the Kendrick Lamar's, whoever it is, man, it's all them writing music. It's creativity from your brain. It's not necessarily school. So I'm not talking bad about school. But what I'm saying is the creativity. It's the writing the music. It's the writing the TV shows. It's creating the beats. It's creativity that takes you to another level. So always be creating, man. Never let that go. Always be creating. Singing, dancing, drawing, coloring, whatever it is, man. Get those juices going, right? Again, for me as a speaker, I create stories and situations, and that's taken me to where I am now, right? So always be creating. So start making them belts, man.
And put your name on it.
Yeah.
So like, you know how like all the places you've been to, you've met Vince Carter, Trace McGrady, all that. Would you say school helped you at all?
So what I would say with school is that school creates a really great foundation in terms of discipline. Getting up in the morning is so important. Getting to school on time is so important. Getting the assignments done on time is so important. The assignments themselves, are they as important, all of them? Probably not. But it's the discipline that it gives you. Because when you get into the quote-unquote real world and you do start working, or even if you open up your own business and you get an order from, let's pick on Brazil again, you get an order from Brazil saying, yo, I need 550 belts and I need them by this certain time. You can't sleep in.
No.
Like that's discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You learn that through school, right? Getting up in the morning, getting your assignments done. So it's like, okay, I need these belts. That means I got to get these beads. I got to get these belts. I got to get them mailed off by a certain time. So I would say school, the biggest thing you learn from school is discipline out of anything else.
Yeah, and I would add too, and I know some people talk about college and not going to college and things like that, but I think the one thing that college teaches more than anything is critical thinking. Critical thinking is probably one of the most important things that you can do, because what happens is, you know, they say if you don't, what's that saying? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yes.
And so what happens is, like, I'm just the type of person, just in general. A lot of times I don't take people's word for anything. And it depends, not everybody. I have certain people, if they tell me something, I know I can trust it. But if I don't know you that well, you can tell me something, I might say, okay, but I'm gonna do my own research to make sure. I'm like, okay, they said this. Does this make sense? Does this sound right? Does this sound accurate? And if it doesn't, okay, this person is full of it. So you gotta be able, that's one of the things that school is gonna teach you, is that critical thinking, and not just to believe everything that you hear. There's a lot of lies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books that's full of lies too. So you gotta do your own homework and do your own research. It's kind of where homework comes in, is make sure, like I said, making sure like, hey, you're disciplined. Can you do this when nobody else is paying attention?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things you gotta think about long term. And I tell y'all all the time too, you always need to be thinking 10 steps ahead. So everything that I'm doing, so even trying to get this set up, I met with them about when I met Lucy Macbeth, when I brought her here, and we had a conversation. So I'm always thinking, okay, they said, hey, you're here, we have a thing that, so we sat down, we had a meeting, and I gave them an outline of 2 years to make it work. So part of that step was, let's come bring you all here to do this. So my other step is too, how can we make this more successful? So I call Jose. I said, Jose, hey, we're doing this event. Explain to him what it is. Hey, we're doing like video for GCO, but we're also doing kind of like a promotional video. So all of these things I'm thinking too, what is gonna make this look the most successful? So even once that video is done, how do I put the video out? What do I say? So I'm already thinking about what am I gonna say with this video. So I always think down the line. Don't think about what's just gonna happen now. Think about what the decision that you're gonna make now, what is that gonna look like down the line? So you really have to start thinking, not just for the now, but later on down the line. It's like when I tell y'all, hey, we're gonna do stuff, but there's certain things you're never gonna see me do or say around you because of your ages. It's not appropriate. So that's why I'm very careful about the things that we do, even when we have guests come out. And notice we never have a guest riding with us. So that's because I'm thinking, okay, what if something went wrong, or what if something happened and I have this other person? We can't do that. So that's why when we have people as guests, they meet us at the place that we're going, in a public place. We're never gonna be doing stuff where it's like, okay, we're gonna go here and do this. No, I'm never gonna put you in a situation, because I'm also thinking about myself too. Something happened, I can end up going to jail. I'm not trying to go to jail.
like what you do or say. Maybe my mom always speak once.
Right.
Like so, like what you like say or do. Think about like who's it affecting, what's it affecting, and like how it will affect you.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes the same way if you heard that what they're talking about in construction. Measure twice.
Yeah.
Cut once.
Mm-hmm.
So because you want to double check and make sure everything that you're doing is right before you start going into it. So that's what I'm just going off.
That's true. You talked about planning. It's so important. Planning ahead, you know, I always talk about the fact, like, for example, like, I imagine at some point in time y'all want to make some money, right? Would you mind being a millionaire? Right? That's what, yeah. Being a millionaire is not bad, right? If you could.
So he can sign.
But to do that, it's planning, right? So you don't wake up tomorrow and become a millionaire, right? Unless someone wins the lottery, right? Which most people don't in their life, right? It's planning. So it's taking some money now and investing it and allowing that money to grow and continuing to invest. And eventually that money invests and starts to grow into that money, that $1 million that you want for yourself, right? It doesn't happen overnight, right? So it's planning, as Ryan talked about, making decisions today that are going to help you tomorrow. Kind of, again, going back to what I spoke about, Kobe practiced one extra practice today. That's it. Tomorrow he did one extra, but over time it accumulated and he became a better player, right? So again, you want to be a millionaire when you're 40, when you're 50, it's taking some money now and investing it and allowing it to grow. Again, you want to be a worldwide, world level music beat creator. It's making beats today, even though they might be simple, they might, you know, you're still working your way through. It's making things today that you build up. You watch those videos, you build up to get to where you need to get to. So yes, planning is so important in terms of where you want to go and just starting it today. You won't see the results today, perhaps, but over time you will. It's compound interest, as they say. Over time, it just collects. It gets bigger and bigger because you've been putting in the work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll give y'all an example. That I haven't shared this with anybody. So one of the things, and this was where kind of like where Austin comes in. So one of my strategies when we're talking about long-term planning, I met Austin like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole strategy, of growing this organization, is I know rich people know how to find money. They know where the money is coming from, and they know how to get to it. Well, I start paying attention to what they are doing, and one of the things I saw is, hey, when there's, say, federal contracts and money and things like that, they always seem to get it, and they know how to get it. And so one of the things I learned is, you better know who your politicians are, because when you need something, you need to be able to go to them. And the more you have relationships with people over time, that's what's going to get you more successful. So I met Austin before he became a city council member. We met at another event, and I said, hey, I'm doing this box fan of water. How about you come out? And so he came out and passed out box fan. He even did a live Facebook Live video for me.
Mm-hmm.
So he came out. But I did this with not just Austin, I did it with a lot of other people. So now, I should tell you this, when I need something, I have Austin. I can call up Austin and say, hey, Austin, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm looking out, because I told him I'm working on something, not for 2023, I'm working on something for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
We had this whole conversation, and I said, hey, these are the 5 or 6 things that I need, and I need your help getting there. So now I have a relationship with Austin before he got in office. Because once you get in office, everybody wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
But what were the people along the way that helped you get there? Or
Right.
that knew you before then and stuck with you regardless of what happened?
Yeah.
And so now I need something like, hey, Austin, can you help me? Austin came out, he helped knock on doors with me. He done a lot of stuff to help me out. And so I always look like, hey, you got to reciprocate. So wherever I can return the favor and do things. So he's planning an event for next month at Network. I'm there. I got you. Whatever you need, I'm there. So it has to be a give and take in those relationships. But we're always looking at that. So it's not just Austin. I'm working with other politicians. So I just ran for office. I didn't win. But what am I doing? Those people that I met along the way, the ones that did get in office, I have that personal relationship. So one of the things I'm telling you now, one of the things that we're going to be doing later on, sometime next beginning of the year, next year, we're going to be going down to the state capitol. They're going to recognize us at the capitol. We're going to be down on the floor in front of the entire Senate and House. And they're going to recognize us down there, and they're going to do us a proclamation. That doesn't happen if I don't know the right people. So you all are going to be in front of all the most powerful people in this entire state. We're all going to be down there doing that. So this is something that I've been working on long term. So my relationship that I've been building, this is what comes from it. So now I need to call in a favor to people, like some of the people that were running. I knocked on doors on it for them. I made phone calls. I did a bunch of stuff. So now they know, like, okay, he's really serious. He's actually out here helping. This is somebody who's in here for the long term. It's not just somebody who just wants something.
Yeah.
He's actually putting in the work to show me how much he appreciated. Then I can go get him, ask him what I need. So that's what I mean. Like, it's not just 2023. My 2023, a lot of that's already planned and done for the whole year.
Yeah.
So there's still things that are going to come up, but I'm starting looking at 2024 already. So my goal for 2023 is to raise at least $1 million. So that's my goal. My floor is $1 million next year. So I got plans and things in place. So same thing with y'all. Y'all want to be millionaires. What are you going to start? What are you going to do to set yourself up to get to that spot? So I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to be a millionaire. I'm not there.
It's not trying. You will.
You will. Yeah.
It's a matter of time.
To call it.
Yeah, and it's something I spoke to Jeff about last night. And Jeff, you say it better. You usually say it better than I do. If you want to go far.
If you want to go, I'm forgetting it. You can go faster alone, but you can go further together.
You can go further together, right? Which means you can achieve just about so much on your own, right? But if you build partnerships and you collaborate with others, let's say, for instance, there are things that you may find as a strength, right? You may find it as one of your strong points, or your qualities that you have, something that you do well, right? Then those other qualities you don't do well, you build partnerships with others, with other individuals, right, who have those strengths. And then you put your skills and your strengths together with that individual's strengths and skills, and you go even farther, right? So what Ryan was saying is find like-minded individuals that you can build relationships with. Like the three of you, if you find that you work well together, you get along well together, there's a lot of good, positive energy, continue that relationship. Continue that 5, 10, 20 years from now, you might go into business together. It might not be 20 years from now. It might be 5 years from now, right? You might, and pardon me, your name again? Santuan. Santuan might go home and say, you know what? I know they were kidding around with these belts, but I might put these ideas together, come up with a parallel line for young men, right? And I have these friends of mine I would like to bring into the business with me because I recognize that they have certain strengths that I don't have. But together, you form, it's like a team. You have individuals who have individual strengths, but then you put those individuals together, you form a team, and you win a championship.
Absolutely.
So definitely think about that. Think about partnerships. Think about identifying those friends that you have. Now you're gonna have to differentiate between those friends and acquaintances. Those who are good for you, those who are bad. No hard feelings. Right. No hard feelings. But you want to go somewhere in life. You want to get further in life. So you have to make those hard decisions. Do I keep this person around me? Doesn't mean you have to toss that person out, but you just have to spend less time with that individual and spend more time with individuals who can add to what you have, add to your qualities.
And then sometimes you might just have to start over. So like with my story, I moved to Georgia when I was 23. I'm 38 now.
From where?
From Chattanooga.
Okay.
And so when I moved here,
he looks younger now that the election is over.
So when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. I came here because I was like, I'm 23. I have my family back home, but I don't have anything holding me down. Like I don't have kids, anything like that. So it's a situation where, as an individual, you be like, okay, what's the best move for me? And so what I realized is, back home, the people that I grew up with in my neighborhood, they were holding me back. And I'm like, I'm never going to get to where I want to be if I'm still with this crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is just remove myself to the entire place. I'm like, I'm going to school. I don't know where. And I looked Nashville, Atlanta, and Charlotte. And I was like, well, actually from Chattanooga, Atlanta's closer. It's like an hour and a half. I came here then more and went to Nashville, it's the same state. So
Mm-hmm.
I came here I had a 2005 Chevy Cavalier, 2-door. I moved here with what I had in that car. I literally, like, when I left, I had no money. I had my last check I had maybe like $500 in my account. I made a deal at my apartment complex. I was like, look, I can't pay the rent to get out of this lease. So what I'm gonna do, I said, can you all make a deal? I was like, all of the stuff in the apartment, you can have all of it in exchange for me just breaking the lease. I said, yeah, that's fine. I had a bed, TV, like a bunch of furniture and everything. I was like, I can't take it with me.
Yeah.
So I can only fit what I can get in my car.
Yeah.
And so I look at from it's August 16, 2007, it's the day I moved here. I look at where I'm at now, and then 15 years later, it's like now, not only am I a valuable member of the community, I'm running for office, I'm doing a lot of things, all because I got out of
Running
that
this group.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got out of that situation. I had to.
Mm-hmm.
It's something my mom always told me. Like growing up, she was like, she's always
Yeah,
say,
we're gonna get started.
she used to always say, the people you hang around, if they're not like helping you rise to the top,
Yes.
just play them from a distance. Like,
Yes.
Don't let people drag you down while you're trying to elevate in life.
Yes.
Right.
And she's telling you the truth.
That's what you're talking about. Like, it's the difference between friends and acquaintances.
Yeah.
So you got to recognize the difference. You know, everybody knows at least one person be like, oh, this dude right here, he ain't no good. This dude trouble. You be like, I got to stay away from him. Like, you all know somebody like that. You all know somebody
Or
that's
two or
like,
three.
nah.
Or 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all know somebody like that. And I had a neighborhood full of people like that. And I was like, no, this not for me.
Yep.
Do something.
And I had the same situation. And what helped me was moving from New York and coming down here to Atlanta and creating a whole new group of friends.
Yeah.
And I am where I am now because of that decision to leave certain elements behind and come to Atlanta with my sister. And I had to start all over, literally, making new friends, employment, school, everything, But
Twice.
I look back, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, I started off because I came here for school. And so, you have all your friends from school and everything. And I'm at school 7 hours a day. And then school's over. And then everybody moved back. And so now I'm like, man, everybody I know is gone. So I had to start back over again 2 years after I moved here. And I'm like, okay, I got to redo this whole process again.
Yeah.
But when you start over, though, it gives you a chance to be who you want to be. Because nobody knows who you are, especially if you move to a new one. Nobody knows who you are. So you can be whoever you want to. And so I start molding myself into what I want it to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get started. I don't know if
All right. Any final thoughts? Jeff?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I want to encourage you guys, man. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Whatever it is you want to do, keep pushing forward. And whatever it is you're focusing on, you're going to get. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Restart. Right? You're able to do that.
Exactly. Any final thoughts? No? Okay. Ryan?
I'm good.
You good?
Ready to get started.
Ready to get started. All
Y'all
right.
Say y'all hang out with us a little bit, or y'all got to head out?
Yeah, we hang out a little bit.